Thanks for tuning in to Amped On Demand and the Whiteboard briefing for today's workout from CrossFit Amped and CrossFitAmped.com. The warm-up starts with a 30-second squat hold, followed by 30 seconds of downward facing dog, 30 seconds of upward facing dog, and 30 seconds of windmills. After that, you're going to go into 3 rounds of 10 push-ups, 10 dumbbell hang snatch, 10 goblet squats, and 30 jumping jacks, or if you have a jump rope, 30 single unders. For that downward dog, we want our hands and feet on the floor with our butt up in the air. Our back is nice and flat. Our ears are right next to our biceps and we're getting a good stretch in those hamstrings. If you can, lower your heels down to the ground. That'll increase that stretch. For the up dog, you're going to start in that downward facing dog, then you'll lower your hips down. However, they won't be resting on the floor. You're going to get your chest up nice and tall. So think you'll be an arch from your head down to your feet, but the only parts of your body that will be touching the ground are your hands and feet. For the windmill, we're going to start in a nice wide stance. One hand's going to be overhead, the other hand's going to be in the inner thigh of the same side leg. So if my right hand's overhead, my left hand's going to be in my left inner thigh. Then I'm going to hinge my hips back as I twist down, trying to bring my left hand down to my left foot while keeping my right hand directly overhead. Push-ups, we want our body to start in a nice straight line from shoulder to hip to knee to ankle. Then we'll lower ourselves down to the ground, touching our chest and hips to the floor, making sure we keep our elbows nice and close to our body. Then we're going to press ourselves up, making sure we press ourselves up in a straight line so that we don't lead with our chest or lead with our hips. We want chest and hips rising together. Dumbbell hang snatch starts with any kind of load in your hand. You're going to hold it right between your legs, standing tall. You'll get a tiny bit of a dip down, then you'll drive your heels into the floor, get a violent hip extension, jump, follow it up with a shrug of your shoulder and a punch with the dumbbell overhead. You should finish with your legs locked out, arms straight overhead, and your bicep by your ear. Goblet squats are squatting with holding a weight at your chest, so make sure you have a good grip on that load. Abs are squeezed, maintain that lumbar curve, push those hips back, then drop straight down, making sure you're balanced from front to back. Once your hips go below your knees, drive through your heels and stand right back up. Finally, for the jumping jacks, light bounce on our toes, bringing our hands up as our feet go out. Or for single unders, make sure you keep your elbows in, soft grip on that rope, and again, a light bounce on your feet. For the workout today, we have 4-time, 5 rounds of 6 dumbbell power cleans, 7 dumbbell front squats, and 8 dumbbell facing burpees. Then you're going to go into 5 rounds of 6 dumbbell snatches, 7 dumbbell lunges, and 8 dumbbell push presses. For that power clean, you're going to be taking a weight from the ground to the front rack position without passing through a full squat. So start with your eyes forward, your arms straight, your butt down, your chest up, your back flat. Hips and shoulders are going to rise together until that weight passes your knee. Once it passes your knee, you're going to get a violent hip extension, shrug those shoulders, and pull the weight into the front rack position. For those front squats, you're just going to hold the weight in that front rack position and go through your 7 squats. And for the burpees, you'll put your weight down on the ground, you'll face that weight, do a burpee, stand up and jump over that weight, turn around, face it again to do your next burpee. The snatch is taking a weight from the ground to overhead. Once the weight clears the knee, we're still going to get a shrug of the shoulder and a high pull with our arm. However, we're going to finish with a punch to overhead. Make sure that bicep is finishing right by your ears. For the lunges, we're going to hold the weight in the front rack position and do step forward or step back lunges, making sure we don't bang our knee on the floor and we don't let our front knee pass our toe. For that push press, you're going to keep the weight in the front rack position. You'll dip straight down, then follow it up with a violent hip extension and a press to overhead. Make sure you keep your heels down until your hips and knees finish extending. Today's workout's programmed for dumbbells, however, you can use whatever you have at home. It can be a bottle of water, a jug of water, a dumbbell, a kettlebell. If you have a barbell at home, you can turn those into barbell movements. It can also be performed with a medicine ball or a plate. as well as a $1 concrete block from your local hardware store. The way we're going to scale all of these movements today is by scaling the load, with the exception of the burpee. If you're going to scale the burpee, you'll just do your burpee to high plank rather than lowering yourself all the way down to the ground, and you can step over your weight rather than jumping over it. If you're going to be doing single arm movements today, let's make sure that we get an equal amount of reps on each side. So for the cleans and the snatch, you can alternate or do 3 on one, 3 on the other. And then same thing goes for the squats or lunges. You can alternate which side you're holding the weight on every lunge. You can alternate every round, or you can alternate after a few reps. Thanks for choosing CrossFit Amped for your fitness solution. I'll see you next time.